what's your name?
Mikaela Singleton.
And how tall are you, Mikaela?
I'm 107 centimetres.
107 centimetres. And how old are you?
I'm 16.
And you're still at school?
Yes.
If you were right for a role on Shortland Street, do you think you could make yourself available?
Yes.
Mikaela's a whangarei schoolgirl with big dreams of working in television.
I'm a normal, extraordinary, fun teenager who enjoys just getting out there and doing things and having fun with her mates.
Right now, she's behind the camera, directing her very first documentary.
I'm making a documentary for my media studies project. It focuses on me, so what it was like growing up, what I'm like as a person, how I see things and how other people see me.
All her classmates are making films, but no one has a story quite like Mikaela's.
My target audience is my class, and I'm not quite sure how they're going to react, but I hope it's good. I have Diastrophic Dysplasia, which means twisted dwarf. So all my bones get the wrong messages on how to grow, and so they twist, they grow in awkward ways. My elbows, the doctors are actually surprised they actually work because instead of being joint like that, like a normal person's, it goes like that. And so it bends like that. The bones actually overlap.
Mikaela's found unique ways of getting about.
There are some advantages and there's some disadvantages to being small. Well, advantages sometimes like people notice you and they are more aware of you and they're more considerate. But then there's disadvantages because you can't reach the tall things. Sometimes you actually aren't noticed because you're so short. People just don't notice you and you can get tousled around in crowds and that kind of thing.
Walking around school all day is just too tiring. Mikaela can use a wheelchair, depending on what her mates are doing.
I'm going to make you late to class. I can't go on. It is super speed. I have a joke with my mates because she always goes, "Have you had sugar?" And I'm like, "No, but you got some?" Yeah! Hi, myself.
Oh yeah, let's go.
And she goes, "When are you? You're not supposed to be hyper all the time again. It's not good for you." I'm like, "Well, how do you know something's wrong with me?" And they go, "Oh, you're not hyper." I'm like, "Exactly." Okay, give it. I have this one big main group that I hang out with, and we're quite a mixture because we've got the real smarts and then the ones who we just we're diligent with our work, but we're not right up there. And then like there's the ones who have been close friends for ages, and then the ones who have come in.
Sorry.
I think I just fit in normally. I'm one of the group.
Oh yeah.
Yes, there are differences. Like if I need help, they kind of naturally just help. But if I don't, they don't. But you know, I am having. Do you want to make sure my jumper's down in the back? Make sure is my jumper down. I was really serious about this project, so I actually bought my own camera and tripod, and the kids in my class thought that was kind of extreme, but I told them I would have got a camera anyway because I like just filming and just random stuff. I live with my mum, Helen, my dad, Kevin, my older sister, Kezia, and I actually have another little brother, Nathaniel.
Little bro Nathaniel is small too.
When you go fast.
Mikaela's becoming more curious about her condition. She discovered both of her parents are carriers of a gene causing dwarfism. She's never asked Mum and Dad how her condition has affected their lives.
I don't think they've changed and such, but they're more aware, of people with the conditions. What were your first thoughts when you found out you were having me with my condition?
I first found out there was something wrong with you when I went for an 18-week scan. He thought you had a big head, and measurements just weren't tallying. The body measurements and the head measurements, nothing was matching up for a normal baby. And they asked us to consider abortion, which wasn't even in the picture as far as I was concerned, because they'd told us we just had a physical problem with a child. Well, even if there was other problems, you were still our baby. And then you were born, and all hell broke loose. You couldn't breathe. You weren't what they were expecting at all, and obviously not what we were expecting, because they hadn't been able to tell us.
Thinking back, a friend of ours just before we left came up to us after church, and he'd grabbed me by the shoulders and looked me in the eye and said, "Your faith is going to be tested right to the utmost." But that didn't occur to me at that time. But looking back, it was sort of, it relates, I guess, to you.
When I was growing up, I decided that on my 5th birthday, that's when you become big. And I was actually going to be taller than my granddad, taller, Mum and Dad were going to have to buy a new house because I was going to hit the roof and I was going to be really tall. So I was very disappointed when I woke up in the morning and it was still me. So I'm at the swimming pools and I come here every weekend with my family to do exercises after my major knee operation a couple of years ago. So I walk in the water and I swim and I use all sorts of different motions in my knee to get it moving so that I can walk better on land.
Mikaela's little body has endured 14 major operations, starting with cleft palate surgery as a baby. Her hands, feet, knees and hips have all endured operations, giving her more movement.
So quite often you go in for 3 days, so you have your operation and then you have your recovery time for 3 days, and then you go home, but two weeks later you have to come back in and you go back into theatre and they check it's all fine. And so that happens a lot. So when I had my knee operation, I actually missed all of term 4. It is a lot and they do take a lot of time, and sometimes they do knock your confidence down a bit. I wouldn't change myself, I'd stay the same height I am because I've accepted myself and I just can't imagine myself as any other height. Over the years, have you had to adapt things in life to suit me?
In mobility in the house, we've been a bit tough because we just expect, don't we? We just...
Your philosophy, if we make it too easy for you, then you're not going to cope somewhere else. So purposely made it hard. We'll look at start doing stuff more to you as more independence than that. But we know that you'll be able to cope with what's
out in the real world.
What's normal, yeah.
Quite often I go to places and I can't open doors, it's just the whole height of the handle and access to places that most people would take it for granted. It's like, oh, they moan at steps, but they still can get up there. And it's just those kind of things some people would take for advantage. I've always loved acting. but it's only in the last couple of years that I've decided it's like a career that I can pursue.
Mikaela's auditioning at Shortland Street. It's not for any particular part, but she wants to get on their books.
Hi,
Hi.
are you Mikaela?
Yes.
Nice to meet you. I'm Andrea.
Hello.
Come on in.
Thank you.
Come on in and take a seat.
Casting director Andrea keeps a diverse range of actors on file.
Well, I think being an actor, I'd be able to do anything. You know, it doesn't matter who you are or what condition you have, you can do anything. Like, I think it could be quite motivating for others, seeing like me in a role. Yeah, and you know, just doing it to the best of my abilities.
Go on through, Mikaela.
Okie dokie, I'll just fill out your board. Okay, Mikaela. 1, 2, 3.
I want to end up on Shortland Street as like a main character. Like, I think they really need a main character for quite a long time that has had these issues, you know. And so I'd love to be on Shortland Street as a character like that, yeah.
I'm just looking at Hunter. That's great. And action.
New hobby, eh? Scrapbooking.
As if. I'm looking for inspiration.
Right, so tell me why you want to kill Ashley.
I don't know if I can tell you. I'm just so mad at her. She has all the cool things to do. She copied my look.
Sorry to break it to you, but your look's hardly original. There's thousands of you out there. Millions, a huge army. It's a plot, of course. You're going to take over the world. You won't stop until we're all wearing skimpy tops and tiny skirts and worshipping Paris Hilton.
You shouldn't be so mean to me in the middle of a life-changing thing. I've decided this is going to be the new me.
Cut. Good girl. That was great. You do have a little tendency to look up and around a few times, and I don't know whether it was because people were moving in the room. Was that why?
No, because it was in the script. I wasn't focused on.
Oh, you went for. Oh, I see. So that was a deliberate thing. I see. Feel happy with it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry about saying your hair was red. We don't care about that. That was nice.
Cool,
wasn't it?
yeah. Take good direction.
Yeah. Very good. You take direction well. You know, each time you added the new things that I gave you, which is really important on our show.
I don't know. Like when I was little, I was like watching a movie and I'd be like, "Ooh, I'd love to do that," and like, "Ooh, I'd like to meet so and so and be with, like, act with them." And so I've kind of always thought of it, but it's become more of a. As I've gotten older, it's become a goal that I can actually see now, and I can actually see happening, and that I'm working towards.
Mikaela's asked Andrea if she can film her for part of the school project.
Not too close.
No. What kind of roles could I play?
Obviously, if the character brief was to suit the dwarfism that you have, that would be ideal, wouldn't it? Because, you know, you'd be in. But obviously there'd be roles that you might be suitable for that dwarfism wasn't a problem for, you know, a kid in a schoolyard. I mean, as you said yourself, you've played Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, you were an Oompa Loompa. Yeah. So those kinds of, you know, good fun kind of character roles. There'd be some limitations, I think, with your height in terms of some of the roles that may be on Shortland Street, but you know, the world's your oyster, and once you have the acting side of it under your belt, then you know, you'd have to be treated the same as everybody else.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been really nice to meet
Thank
you. Yeah, thanks for a good audition and nice chat.
It's fun.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see you next time.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
Goodbye. Bye, Mikaela. You know the way out, eh?
Yeah. Thank you. What do you think or feel when people stare at me?
What goes through my head is, as as people stare and give you their undivided attention, how you respond to that can be a positive or a negative in your life. And I keep thinking, come on, Mikaela, do the right thing. And the right thing's different for different people. Some people need a smile and a wave, some people need talking to and questions answered. 95% of the time people are positive, but they're just displaying a misunderstanding look on their faces, is the way I feel.
Over the years, yeah, I have had bullying. My worst year was year 8. This girl decided she absolutely didn't like me and didn't like how I could have things that she couldn't have, and so she decided to write a petition against me. On the petition it was, why does Mikaela get to talk in class? Why does she get a laptop? How come we have to always hold the door open for her? How come she gets to wear jewellery at school and we don't? I don't break the rules. Like, the only jewellery I was wearing was my bracelet, which is my medical alert, which I'm not allowed to go without, and my laptop because I can't write properly, and I can't open doors when I'm in my wheelchair, and it's just the simple things, but she didn't like that. I was really hurt, and the fact that she had managed to get so many signatures on it. Year 8 one, it knocked my confidence down a whole lot because I did draw back from my friends and stuff. Year 10, it went from being the kids to the teachers. I had a science teacher who decided because of my disability I wasn't allowed to do any of the experiments and the practical stuff. My mate, she knew me and she could read me like a book. She knew exactly when I was happy, when I was sad, when I was trying to contain it all. And so she saw me and she knew I was trying to contain it, and I was like going to my next class and she just stopped me and goes, Mikaela, and I just went, ah! And she goes, and the one teacher walks up and then the deputy principal walks up, and I was like crying because this teacher just made me so upset, and I was like, I'd been crying a lot, but the deputy principal had found me crying. Within a week, I was moved out of the science class and into a science class with one of my most favourite teachers in the world, and she's just...
How many drops of indicator are you going to add when you come to do it?
I put 2.
No, put more in, okay? You'll get it right. Nice, really vibrant colour. Okay, about...
Okay.
I'd say about, yeah.
That's the colour I like it. Over the years, have I changed or adapted more to suit my condition?
You've struggled with it. We watched you struggle. We watched your reaction when other kids treated you differently at school and stuff. But I remember last year's ball, Kezia rang me up, come and pick her up. She wants to come home, and so you didn't cope. And then this year, such a change as you were comfortable with you.
And I've seen it too, and I think you're aware of it, possibly why you asked that question. That, okay, there's disadvantages and being different and small and that sort of stuff, and limited mobility, but there are also other advantages, and I think your understanding and acceptance of that over the last 12 months has shown a great more depth of maturity.
I don't like clothes shopping, I hate it. Due to the fact that I can't fit most clothes, so I just hate it.
No? No tag.
Depending on if it sits completely terribly, I won't get it. If it sits alright and it just needs a minor alteration, I'll get it. And if it's perfectly fine, I'll get it and not have to do anything with it. So it just depends on how it sits when I try it on. Do you think that, Mum?
Yeah, that's more what you can get than a style. So
she doesn't get to be fussy. Having said that, labels, horrendous prices usually, but they seem to cut better. So she outgrew the kids' clothing a long time ago.
The wardrobe I've got at the moment has taken a couple of years to build up, so it's just when you find something, you get it.
Want to try them on?
Yeah. I don't like this one as much because it just hangs and doesn't go nicely with my body shape. No, I don't like this one. I like it. I like how it's baggy but not too baggy, and it sits just nicely on me. Bye.
Thank you.
So we're bowling and I come here with my family or my friends. So today I am meeting some of my friends. My friend Dries, Gemma, Josh, and Dries' little brother Honray. Hi guys! How are you? Good?
Good. Ready enough to go?
Yes, I'm all ready to go. They're two parties, but we don't do like the big hideout parties like most teenagers would probably do. We're just normal teenagers, I think. We just hang out. We don't do anything. We stick within behaviour and be good. I've had crushes on people like any girl does, but at the moment I've got better things to focus on than worrying about a boy, worrying about, whether he loves me, I've got my school and stuff to focus on, like I'm gonna leave that till I'm older. Yeah. So what is it like hanging out with you?
I enjoy hanging out with you.
Yeah. You're cool. And it's a bit more like interesting. When I'm sick, you always send me messages, and that really helps. It cheers me up.
Well, I know at school you're always really bubbly and energetic, and it's really refreshing because I'm usually like tired and like dead, so.
Do you notice like when I can't do things and stuff?
Like sometimes you like notice, but other times you don't really. Like, do you find it affects like how you hang out with us sometimes?
Sometimes, like doing bowling, you guys will do a thing, and I have to make sure the ramp's out.
But you do better than us.
And then doing like kickball, how you guys will kick the ball, and I have to do handball.
Yeah, but you're
Like,
still
slight
Gemma does
differences.
handballs anyway.
yeah, I know. Not that good.
Been working on the editing and working it all together. We had to professionally make our script and lay it out like a script would be laid out. And so on it has my voiceovers, my interview questions. So I'm just excited just to see what happens.
Mikaela's called the documentary short and sweet. She's got her big screening today.
Like they've noticed like over the past year that I have like grown. And I think yeah, maybe I have like I take on like more responsibilities. Let's go to media studies. Hi, Mister. Lesson by media studies assignment. I did it on me. It's about 10 minutes long, and yeah, so I interviewed Tasha and Mr. Pullen for this class. I got Storm to do a bit. So yeah, enjoy. Hi, I'm Mikaela Singleton and I'm 16 years old and I have Diastrophic Dysplasia. How do you see me in the future?
There's two pathways I see in my head. One's very successful and positive and vibrant, and the other one becomes a big stodgy one. But the choice for that lays mainly with you.
But we've seen it, that people comment that you're a bright, bubbly child, and as long as you keep that, you are going to have a great influence, Mikaela.
I'm a normal teenager who loves to have fun with life and just enjoy the moment.